Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is March 3, 2022, and the sun is in Pisces right now, as are Pisces ruling planets, Jupiter and Neptune. And this really represents expanded inspiration and creativity, expansion, inspiration, creativity. And when we are in the flow of creation, we're also in the flow of transformation. Nothing comes from nothing. To create requires the transformation of one thing into another. And as we work in the flow of transformative energies, we ourselves are transformed. I encourage us all to be conscious and willing participants in our own metamorphosis as we also transform and create the world around us, from what it was to what we will it to be. And the moon starts today in Pisces and makes the shift into Aries later this afternoon around 4:30 or 5. This represents a shift in the heart and home energies from a more relaxed, creative, even passive vibe to a more direct, assertive, and action vibration. And that's really good timing for this freshly waxing moon. We had the new moon yesterday, so now the moon is waxing. We're moving from the new moon to the full moon. And this is the time when we set our intentions, we make our plans, we make goals for ourselves. And, as we shift from creativity in making our intentions to assertiveness in making our intentions, we can develop these strategies that are sort of bold and that will bring us forward. So I think that's really positive energy for the newly waxing moon. I'm going to go ahead and get straight into the aspects, but I want to remind you there is a key over here. The legend has all of the symbols that are on the page today, so if you get a little lost, you can check over here and get a clue about what the symbols you're seeing mean. Otherwise, I'm going to discuss them all as we go. I've divided the page otherwise into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. Now, the moon sheds light on our inner lives. That's how it feels to be in our body, our heart, and our mind. It's our personal perspective. It's what we think, feel, know, and intuit, and also like who we are, how we come to be in our home life and our domestic sphere. So these are the things that happen on the inside in the personal world that don't necessarily always find expression in the outer world. And the sun, on the other hand, sheds light on the outer life. It has more to do with those things the person that we are in our work, social and civic spheres, out in the world, how we interface with the public. It's the person that people first get to know when we meet us. And I address the sun's aspects and the other planets' aspects on this side because they have more to do with how we engage in the outer life, and these aspects tend to take longer than the lunar aspects. So that's what we're working with here. And we start on the sun side of the page today. I'm going to go ahead and address these ongoing aspects as we go. You'll see that I've already written on the page here. This is take 2 of today's aspects. Venus conjunct Mars has been going on for us for a few weeks now, and it's going to keep going on for us for at least a few weeks through the 20th of March, which is the spring equinox. And at that point, they're going to drift apart a little bit more. We're still going to be sort of in the shadow of those energies, but not quite so in the strength and the thickness of this conjunction. Conjunct energy amplifies the qualities of the planets involved. Venus is our personal receptive quality. It's our attractiveness, our pulling power in the world, and it helps us call toward us those things that we like, love, and can't get enough of. Whereas Mars energy is that part of ourselves that is forward and assertive and action oriented, impatient to just go do the darn thing. And we all have those qualities in us. We all have a Venus and a Mars placement in our own chart, so it can be helpful to check out your own chart. But this also speaks to the work we're doing in partnerships, especially right now, because both of these are in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. So Capricorn is very much, again, about the work that we have to do. It's really sweat of the brow and really taking care of business. And what came up for me on reflection of Venus conjunct Mars at this time, where these energies are amplified, is to remember who we are in the context of our partnership. You know, it's easy when you're feeling ambitious and you're working on goals, you set those partnership goals, and you know you really want to get things done, to forget who you were in the effort to become who you want to be, right? Remember who you are in the context of your partnership. Remember the entire history of your partnership and who that person is for you, who you are to yourself. This is a clean slate. Okay, this is a chance to leave the old troubles behind, especially because both of these planets in conjunction with one another are also conjuncting Pluto today, and we will get into that. But also a clean slate because we just got out of the new moon and we're setting intentions, plans, we're making our long-term goals, and we have a lot of ambition, and we have a really good idea what we want for ourselves. So, you know, it's a good time to sort of leave that old crap behind, especially in the context of your relationship with yourself and in the context of your partnerships. Those are workplace partnerships, family, friends, and your romantic partnerships. Okay, just you know, it's a good time to let it go, whatever it was that was burdening those relationships. If you can leave it behind, just leave it behind. And then also we have Jupiter in a sextile relationship with Uranus, and this is also, it came in about the same time as Venus conjunct Mars, and it will leave about the same time as Venus conjunct Mars around spring equinox. And again, we'll still be in the shadow of that afterward. We'll still be feeling its effects, but we are especially feeling these effects right now. And this is a really good fortune, positive effect for making positive, forward-thinking changes in our lives. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled for those opportunities to expand your experience. Jupiter is about expansion, growth, positivity. It's about having those experiences that grow your sense of who you are in connection with the rest of the world, and make you see what is possible for yourself. And Uranus very much does that too. Uranus brings around these sort of shake-ups that awaken us to shifts and changes that we can make to make things go better for ourselves. And that sextile energy says, yes, cooperation is here. These energies are cooperating with one another. They're working with one another to bring about positive outcomes in our lives. And then today is day 2 of 2 for this Mercury conjunct Saturn energy. So much conjunct on the page lately, okay? So really intensification and amplification of the energies involved. And again, Mercury is in Aquarius right now, and Saturn rules Aquarius, and Saturn is also transiting in Aquarius right now, so it's a very strong Saturn vibe. Aquarius and Capricorn, both ruled by Saturn. So it's again about the work that we have to do and paying attention to our structural foundations. In the context of Aquarius, it's not just about your home life and yourself and your own goals for your life, but it's about your goals to create a stronger foundation for your community, your family, the people around you. It is still about the foundations upon which we stand. Now is the time to be planning, okay, this is thoughts, plans, and communications in an amplified perspective with our sense of having a solid foundation, our stability, those structures we rely on for support and validation. So now is the time to be planning for that solid foundation future. And then today on the sun side of the page at 2:43 in the morning, the Mars makes a conjunct with Pluto. And this is going to be in effect for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just a few days, because Mars and Venus are going to move into Aquarius and Pluto is still going to be in Capricorn. So then they can't really be said to be conjunct anymore. So we're going to have a few days of this energy. This is an evolution in our will to act, okay? We might feel a shift in our drive, our passion, our sense of forward motion. Hopefully, you know, like if we've been in overdrive, we'll get a transformative energy that says, hey, it's okay to keep moving forward, but not driving as fast as you can, right? Not pushing as hard as you can. Again, these are in Capricorn. So is this, all right? This is all Saturn energy. This is all about the work that we have to do. So if you've been overworking, now is the time to feel that transformation that says you can work without having to overwork. You can move forward without having to push too hard. Or if you have not been pushing very hard, if you've been feeling less initiative and drive forward, then maybe you'll feel a transformative energy that says push a little harder. You know, there's nothing wrong with pushing a little bit harder if you're not making the progress that you want to make. And then Venus conjunct Pluto comes in, at 11:46 a.m. So Venus conjunct with Pluto is an evolution in our will to receive. Again, Venus is that part of ourselves that receives what we like, love, and can't get enough of. And you know, so perhaps we will feel a change in exactly what it is that we want. Maybe we're going to stop wanting certain things or realize that what we thought we wanted was not really what we wanted. Or perhaps we're just getting an expanded sense like, yeah, sure, I'd like to have $1 million, but what I would really like is to live a satisfying life of relative ease where I don't have to worry too much about what I'm receiving, whether I'm receiving enough, right? So just look for those transformative urges when it comes to your sense of initiative and your sense of receptiveness, because Pluto is here with us for the next few days in conjunct with this conjunct. These energies are all very amplified. Notice them and respond to them. Look for those opportunities that come along that expand our experience in positive ways. Okay, and then on the moon side of the page, the inner life side of the page, we have several aspects today. At 5:37 this morning, the moon makes a conjunct with Neptune. Now, when the moon is in aspect with Neptune, we really feel the energies and vibrations of those people that are around us, not just right next to us, but like sort of in our neighborhood, in our family, in our friend group. We're feeling that energy in our community. And this can make us, like, especially with that conjunct amplified energy, it's really highly sort of psychic and intuitive time. We're really feeling and understanding what's going on around us. We stand strong in the flow of the human spirit, okay? Take advantage of this time at this hour for a couple of hours. You know, if you have an intuitive practice that you like to engage in from, say, 5:30 to 7:30 this morning, but really all day if you want to bring that into the day with you. It's a great time to get your journaling out, do your meditation, you know, pay attention to what's going on the inside, and especially this information you're getting on the inside from the outside intuitively, right? Pay attention to how you're feeling and the people around you are feeling so that you can sort of give yourself an idea how to move forward. Because again, that forward motion is amplified with transformative energy. And also that receptive, the way we're receiving from the people around us is amplified with that transformative energy. Our hearts and minds can be changed at this time. And then, and I say always be open to a change of heart or mind. That's just my perspective. And then at 3:03 in the afternoon, the moon makes a sextile with Pluto. At 3:15, the moon turns sextile with Mars. And then at 3:45, a void of course moon goes sextile with Mars. Did I say Mars before? Venus and then Mars. So again, these three are conjunct. They're all within a couple of degrees together. They're very close to one another in the sky. If you could see all three planets with the naked eye, which you can't because Pluto is way out there, but if you could, they'd be grouped right together. They might even be overlapping somewhat. So the moon is making this is our inner life, right? How it feels to be in our body, heart, and mind, and in our home, in very cooperative energy, very positive, functioning, and creative energy with transformation, receiving what we love, and pursuing what we desire, okay? The inner life feels cooperative with these transformative vibes, working with the energies to bring about something beautiful and new in ourselves and our partnerships. I can't overstate the significance of this evolving and transformative energy that is upon us right now. So, you know, take those vibrations and make of them what you can intentionally. Again, I also can't overstate how important it is to be intentional as we're going through these transformations and evolutions in our partnerships and in our relationship with ourselves. Because if we're not intentional, sometimes we don't really get what we wanted. You've got to really think about what you want and move forward on it. Okay, and then at 6:52 this evening, I lied. I said it was 4:30 or 5. The moon moves into Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, okay? And right now we can indulge in an urge to take action and build strategies for the culmination of our goals, okay? So like I said, in a week we'll have that first quarter moon, and then in 2 weeks we'll have another full moon. It would be great to have something to culminate with that full moon that's coming up in a couple of weeks. But really right now, again, we can be very intentional as we're making forward motion and being assertive and active about creating our plans and our intentions and our strategies for bringing about the future that we would like to see for ourselves. Saturday coming up, the sun will make a conjunct with Jupiter, and that is really a spotlight right here. The sun is the spotlight in our outer lives on the energy that brings about positive expansion and that grows our sense of who we are and what can be in the world. And at the same time on Saturday, very close together, Jupiter's going to reach its aphelion. So that means that it's way out there. It's as far as it can get from the sun on its elliptical orbit around the sun at this time. So what that tells me is that there might be some sort of delayed effect of those positive those positive forces for change in our lives. You know, we're working on it and we're having faith really in and hope and looking forward to the positive shifts that are coming up for us. And that Jupiter aphelion says, yes, we have good fortune coming our way, and it might just take a little bit longer to get here. You know, the longer the distance, the farther the drive. Also on Saturday, Mars and Venus in conjunct with each other will move into Aquarius. At that point, they will no longer be technically conjunct with Pluto because Pluto is going to stay in Capricorn for another year. Pluto's been in Capricorn for 5 years, so 5 years, for 25 years. So it's really significant that Pluto is going to be in Capricorn for only another year. We're at the end of this transformative vibration that we've been in for the past 25 years. Capricorn being the transformation again of the work that we're doing and the structures that we rely on for safety and support. So we're going to get into talking about that a little bit, but Mars and Venus are making ingress into Aquarius on Saturday. So we're going to lift that Saturn vibe out of the personal work that we're doing and the personal transformation we're doing. And we're going to put that view more toward our relationship with the outer life, with the community, with our families and friends, and how we can make things work better for everybody. And then also coming up on Saturday is the full conjunct of Venus with Mars. So up to now, they've been very close to one another. They've been sort of moving in the direction of one another. But on Saturday, they're going to make that full conjunct. They're going to be right on top of one another. So that effect is going to be intensified and amplified. And then coming up next Thursday, we'll have, again, like I said, that first quarter moon, which is when we get out of the planning phase and into the action Jackson phase where we start to do the work, do the groundwork, and make the phone calls and have the conversations that help us culminate our goals, at least partially, somewhat, by the full moon in a couple weeks from now. So that's it for the aspects. And, you know, guys, if you see anything here that really resonates for you, or if you have a question about what you see here, I would really appreciate it if you would put a comment in the comment section below. I do look at my comments and I'd be happy to answer any questions, see and respond. I appreciate you all for being here. If you're still here with me some 20 minutes in, please go ahead and like my video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, click that notification bell. I post every day around 7 p.m. the night before. So I will look forward to hearing from you. And now is the part where I get into some tarot. So first we're going to discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then we're going to pull another tarot card just to sort of cover the energies for today. And the tarot card that's sitting on the side of the page right now is the Nine of Cups. It represents the second 10 days of the sun's 30-day transit through Pisces. And the Nine of Cups really is about emotional satisfaction and enjoying a little bit of luxury. So at this point, you know, whatever it is that you have created or whatever it is you have invested in emotionally, it is enough for you, right? That Eight of Cups energy was like, this is not quite enough for me. I created it, but I can't really stick around here. I've got to move on. And this says, okay, well, I found a cup, and cups are about our inspiration, our emotional intelligence, our creative flow, and our intuitive intelligence as well, our intuitive ability to know what's going on around us. So having expanded to 9 cups, we now have sort of a big enough vessel into which to pour our inspiration, our creativity, and, you know, our emotions. Sometimes we're in a situation where we feel like, I have too much emotion for this situation to be able to withstand me. Or I have too much creative flow for this situation to really be able to hold what I have to give. And that's not the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is like, this is enough. And I get to sit down and rest and appreciate what it is I've garnered for myself in terms of creativity, in terms of emotional expression, in terms of intuitive expression. So I love that energy. It's very positive. There can be some smugness here, you know. Be careful to appreciate what you've gained. Don't just rest on your laurels and say, I did this, okay? Yeah, you did it, but, you know, you really have to appreciate, keep that attitude of gratitude going so that, you know, it doesn't fall away from you, or you know, your appreciation of it, you know. Your appreciation of what you have gained really matters because if you can't appreciate it, then, you know, why would you have bothered? So that's the emotional satisfaction of having a big enough vessel, of having, you know, a good space into which to pour your creative and emotional and intuitive urges. All right, and now I'm gonna mix these cards up a little bit more while I remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Pisces, and the planets Neptune and Jupiter are also in Pisces. Those are Pisces, the sign Pisces co-ruling planets. So we're really enjoying this expanded sense of inspiration, intuition, creativity, really positive growth in our lives. And the newly waxing moon in Pisces, shifting into Aries today, helps us, while we're planning, move from a creative position into a more assertive, strategic planning sort of vibration. Aries is ruled by Mars, which is in Capricorn, and Mars is, of course, all over the page lately with Capricorn, with those Saturn vibrations of structural integrity. And on the sun side of the page, like we've got Venus conjunct Mars, Venus conjunct Pluto, Mars conjunct Pluto, Mercury conjunct Saturn, Moon conjunct Neptune. We've got Sun conjunct Jupiter coming up, like so much conjunct energy. And that really represents the amplification of these creative forces in our lives in the direction of transformation. Deep and total change is coming upon us right now, friends. So appreciate that. And this Jupiter sextile Uranus, keep your eyes peeled for those positive opportunities that expand your experience and your concept of what can be for yourself. You've got the moon in this sextile position consecutively with Pluto, Venus, and Mars. So this is transformation, desire, and pursuit, right? All coming together. So from 3 p.m. to about 5:45 p.m. 3 p.m. to 5:45. Don't be surprised if you find yourself really working cooperatively with yourself or with somebody else in partnership to find a transformation, to make a big, deep, and total change, to be really feeling it and involved in it. And then this evening, of course, the moon shifts into Aries. So we again go from that relaxed, creative vibe to a more assertive vibe of pursuing and strategizing what we want for ourselves going forward. And with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this card. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so traditionally the 5 of Pentacles sort of represents you know, a time of lack, a time of feeling that we don't really have what we need. Pentacles is really about health, okay, our personal well-being and wealth, our finances, and the things that we possess. And 5 represents, you know, this feeling of not really having what we need to have in order to move forward. I do notice that you've got you know, a pair of people here, and here it's represented sort of as masculine and feminine. So that brings out for me the partnership aspect and the sort of Aries and Venus conjunct vibe. They're working together. And perhaps we have been in this mode where, you know, we don't know how we're going to move forward, but you have your partner by your side, and there is the advice that comes with this card to seek help, okay? Go together with somebody that that you trust, to somebody that you trust, and find the help that you need. Somebody is always there and available to give us what we need, and that's important to remember. You know, no man is an island. We've said that before, but no partnership is an island either. And whether that's your business partnership or, you know, your personal romantic relationship partnership, or, you know, your partnership with whoever it is that you live with domestically, or the person that you spend the most time with from your friends and family, you know, none of those partnerships exist on their own in a vacuum without the help and the input of the outer world, okay? And especially as we're going through these transformative times, we can feel a little bit lost. We can feel as though we don't have what we need to move forward, but that's simply not true. We do. It is a resource that exists outside of us, and we have to go and put our hand out for the help. And it will be there for us. It will be. So, and taken in context with the 9 of Cups here, you know, I that's what gives me confidence that it will be. Not just that we have, you know, Jupiter working hard for us right now in the sign of Pisces to help us make these positive changes in our lives. Jupiter is generosity and expansion. And 9 of Cups here says, you know, I have the emotional and creative well-being enough for us to push forward. So even if you don't have all the pennies in your pocket that you would like, or even if you can't use your body as well as you would like, there is still a creative capacity, okay? There's still inspiration, there's input from the outside, from the human collective and from spirit, that can bring us that emotional satisfaction as long as we maintain, again, that attitude of gratitude, that attitude of appreciation for what we have, and we're willing to ask for help if we need it. Look, this guy doesn't look like he feels like he needs to ask for help, but these people definitely do. So, you know, perhaps that's a hurdle to get over right now, is if you're feeling really emotionally satisfied, but you look around, you see you don't have the resources that you wish you had on hand to make the transformations that you're trying to make. Just realize that that stuff is available. It's all right here. It's all available to us. We just have to be strategic and to know who to ask for that assistance. And, you know, that's whether you're religious and you're a praying person, or you want to rely on your church or your faith community, or, you know, whether you're not necessarily religious and you need to reach out to some other resource, like, you know, friends and family, or some other civic organization that can help you. It's okay to do that. Everybody needs some help from time to time. And I believe that's all I have to say about that today, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your presence every day. My name is Mel Rose, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.